Yeah, plug in, plug in. Plug it in, plug it in. This is Jerry Dime with How to Get Out of Babylon.
Say a command.
Go away.
Say a command.
Shut up. The gathering is beginning, brother. Stone Kingdom of Yahweh. All right, give me a break here. Just take a break. Take 5. Have a sip of coffee. I'm not even sure what I was looking for. 73. That sounds like a good number. Look up. What was it? It's on here. I can't look it up. All right, my email. There you go. 73 something HC. Near Drury, Missouri. And Sister Sue in Cali said, Father owns the whole universe, owns the earth, and the fullness thereof. My Father owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. So why are we thinking? And I haven't been thinking like this, but basically, a lot of people coming out here like, I just got a thing from a guy, old timer knives, only had enough money, and I understand this, only had money enough for one person, for one acre. Yeah, that was it. HC, no, 465 HC 73, Drury, Missouri. Take a look at it. I wish I could do, I just tried, I cannot do the Record Master where you can see me and the screen. Something's wrong with that program or my tablet. I have no idea. Somebody gets techie, shows up here, or can advise me on that, let me know. Okay? So, that property is nice. It's about 80 acres. It's situated very nicely back in. All of the productive stuff, chicken operation, crops, and everything is all in one area. The house, surrounded by trees, beautiful. Off-grid. I mean, it's got off-grid capability. Well, it is off-grid. They have solar panels, power bank, kitchen queen, huge kitchen queen stove. Like I've never seen one this big. It looks like it's about 6 feet long, maybe 7. Kitchen queen is like the Mercedes, Cadillac, Lamborghini, whatever. Functional, totally functional. I mean, as in, you can cook for an army on it, and you can also heat a gigantic house with it. Well, this is like a 3,500 square foot house. So, we need to look at that. Now, crowdfunding. Everybody out there, listen. You listen to me. Y'all, you're out there listening to me. You're all on YouTube, right? That's eBay. You're on eBay too, I know. I am. We need money. I need money to buy more stuff. I'm out of research and development dollars. BTW, speaking of that. I dropped it. There's a whole bunch of things I want to cover, but, en route, one of the things I'm just saying, this is something I wanted to test, look at, check out. Usually I'll put something, look at something, and Jersey will buy it. So, and she did on this. So cool. A grill thing, stainless steel. Lasts you for the rest of your life, probably into your kids' and grandkids' life. But it's a way to cook, have heat outside. You're not going to cook it. It's not for heating a tent or anything. But a way to cook a meal while traveling without leaving any trace. You're not leaving a fire pit and rocks that are heated up and blackened, and you're not leaving ashes and, warm dirt for the tracker to come by and go, been gone 3 hours, we catch by dawn. Nobody needs that. Like I said, I'll put on my blue jacket there, and Confucius say, want people, or wise Indian chief say, you don't want people following you, leave no tracks, so. So that's just one of the things that came in, and research and development. That costs money, and we don't have the money to spend. We just don't. That's on a credit card, and it's going to bite us in the butt. So we need help. But back up, y'all are on YouTube, and what YouTube is and what it's all about, I just watched that, man. Dennis Quaid talks about his inspirational new film, I Can Only Imagine. He's in this film. He plays Bart Millard's dad. I Can Only Imagine. Mercy Me. And the story behind it. No, I never knew it. I mean, I've heard him sing it in concert, wow. But point is that, it was about his dad. I Can Only Imagine. And he wrote that song imagining what his dad might be like if he became a believer. And he said, my dad was a monster when I was a child. And he basically hated him and had a very hard time forgiving him. But he said, I watched God transforming into the man that I hated into the man that I wanted to be. Wow, what a story. Well, in the process of that, Dennis Quaid wrote a song that he'd been wanting to write for like 30, 40 years for his mother. And I'm on my way to heaven. Yeah, so watch the videos on that. It's pretty cool. And it'd be neat if my kids, my children, my family would watch it, because, here's a guy whose dad was a monster and terrible dad, and, my kids treat me like a terrible dad, and I'm not, I got them all here to safety, and we are all here. They're all here. So I'm happy about that. I'm glad, and I'm grateful, very grateful, totally, that my children are all here. So anyway, between YouTube and research, get on Google and start doing research on, that's what I was going to do, the idea of crowdfunding, and let's start getting some action and doing. Get with me, contact me via email. Instead of buying 1 acre or 5 acres, and the sad thing about it is that these companies, I mean, yeah, you're getting out. You got an acre. Is there a house on it? Is there a well on it? Are there roads done? Or are you going to be like hacking living out of the wilderness? Probably the latter. So that is not ideal, especially with the lack of time that we have. We don't have the time to do all this. So my point is, let's get together, and at least if 3 or 4 or 5 people went in, you could get a 10-acre farm easily get a 10-acre farm. Okay. And beyond that, I mean, we're looking at, I've looked at 80-acre, 130-acre, fabulously gorgeous 130-acre place up for sale. This is an 80-acre place, and it is gorgeous. 300, 500 acres. There's a guy in California, a brother that's coming out and wants to do that, and to make things affordable for the person that can afford like 200, 300, 1,000 down. $100 a month or $200 a month, or take it out in labor, either one. So, yeah, it's see if I can get this to go to screen slideshow. Yeah, there you go. I'll just give you, I'm going to go scroll through this. See if that's, I don't know if that's any better. Still seems, I don't know why it's a glare. Okay, so there's an aerial shot, and it's set out in the middle of nowhere. Something like a 3,500 acre house. Look it up, spring-fed creek. Small, but it's spring-fed. You can make pools, they can pick, I don't know how far it runs through there. Depending on how far it runs, you can make like multiple pools, dig a big one, dig a small one, dig a big swimming hole. Beautiful rock structuring. This says caves to me. Solar panels, it's off-grid. Plenty of firewood. Huge home. I mean, the place is beautiful. So, look it up. That's a Kitchen Queen stove. The second I saw it, I said, that's a Kitchen Queen. She goes, yep, that is. Awesome, you know. That's an off-grid refrigerator. The second I saw it, I recognized it. My friend, well, former friend, has one. So, boot cellar, food storage, pantry, you know. The whole thing is beautiful and pristinely clean. Cistern, rainwater collection cistern already set up. Movable chicken operation. Big controller room. Battery bank, inverter, generator. You know, wood processing area. Lots of firewood, so get on it. And if I can get this to, I could set this up like I was doing. I was setting this down and filming off of that. I hardly even remember how I was doing it, but I can figure it out again because I didn't have this on a stand. Yeah, I remember now. So, crowdfunding, we could buy a church, $40,000, buy a church, a 3,100 square foot red brick church with the pews in it, with the pulpit in it, with the hymnals in it, ready to preach next Sunday, Saturday, Sabbath, whatever. And you know, it's being sold as a single family dwelling. So buy it, but use it as a church too, you know. Somebody could live in it, the caretaker, you know, a pastor, whatever you want to call it, could live there. We could be doing video from there, from the pulpit. I mean, I could be doing messages. Oh my gosh, I would love to do that. I always have. I've got the library to, you know, create the creativity to do it. Never hear the same thing twice. Well, I guess you would, because I have a bad memory. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, and I know it's just, who cares? I mean, no, I do, but I'm tired. I'm wired. I'm pushing, and a lot of things are happening really, really fast. So, and that is almost where I say Ava. I have said before that Ava is the center, almost on the crosshairs. Well, it's the largest city near the crosshairs. Drury and Dora are like, you know, really, really close. Do it yourself. Someday maybe I'll get my computer set up and get it online, my Google stuff, and I've got all the markings and the, you know, the river border area, the river moat system, and, you know, the pyramid and all that stuff. You know, I got each of the corners pinned exactly. You know, I've got the angles figured, and it's pretty cool. Maybe someday, you know. So that is something we need to do, and it's stupid. Oh, you know, I mean, we have been ignorant as a people. We've actually been stupid, but, you know, because the rules for how we are supposed to live, you know, are in Scripture, you know, and we're not doing that. So I'm gonna, you know, that's what I've been saying. Call them directives. You know, Ozark Plateau directives. I have quite a few videos on that. All I'm going to be doing is telling you what the Bible says and the principles that are expressed in the Bible that you should be obeying. And if you're not, you're breaking Scripture. You're breaking the biblical principles. You're breaking Torah. So if you are not helping a ministry or in some way, shape, or form helping to support widows, orphans, strangers in Israel, and Levites, you are breaking Torah. Every single person that thinks they are a messianic believer, a Torah toter, or whatever, whatever nomenclature, name, descriptive term, and I'm not being insulting, I'm just saying, Torah, Torah. That was a movie, wasn't it? You're breaking Torah. I mean, I have known people that would not want to, they were afraid of turning on a light switch on Sabbath because it's like kindling a fire. Can you say Judaism, Judaizers, being brought back under the yoke of the law again? Do this and live, the law commands, but gives me neither feet nor hands. A better way his grace doth bring. It bids me fly and gives me wings. We're under grace. We have the law as a schoolmaster to teach us, to bring us to Christ, to discipline us, a pedagogos. The schoolmaster was the one that whipped the kid's ass. That's what the law does. It whips your ass, spanks you, shows you that you're a sinner. The law is what exposes your sin. Okay? That's one of its purposes. Now, when we talk about the ceremonial law, we know that's been done away with. But, the moral law, no, never. That's universal. And another thing is the protective laws, shall we say, food laws, etc. Don't jump off the cliff laws, don't eat pork laws. Those are there to protect you, for your health, for your well-being. I shall place none of these diseases on you, But I'm going to tell you this. I didn't know, I kind of wanted to say this, and I'm going to say it. I talked about the book, The Third Paradigm, okay? And I made the statement, that the thing that I got out of the book, that was the heaviest thing that I got out of the book was, it's not going to be a smorgasbord. It's not going to be up to Tom or Ralph or John or whatever your name is, Sally, Sue, Becky, Mary, I don't care. Whoever's listening to this, put your name there. It's not going to be up to you to decide what's right and what's wrong, what's good and what's bad, what's gray and what's black, what's white and what's black. It's not going to be up to you. It's in the law, Old and New Testaments. You better learn it. And if you don't, you probably will be paying the price for not doing so in one way or another. And it might be financial, it might be physical, it might be, injury, it might be death. Don't bring, I'm going to use vernacular, don't bring your shit here. Your shit is supposed to be buried. Your dung. Am I using bad language? No. The Bible uses dung. Dung is excrement. It's poop. It's shit. Don't bring your shit here. Don't bring your personal shit here. I'm warning you. It's dangerous to do that. Okay? The law is going to be in effect. And I've used the phraseology before, this is a one-mistake society and you just made yours. How many chances do you get in Scripture? If we're looking at Torah, you have the Ten Commandments, and then you have all of the commandments that line onto those, that are extrapolations and examples of them. The moral laws, sex things, like Leviticus. Read Leviticus 18. It's pretty clear. It says some things don't do, and there's some things it doesn't say don't do that we say don't do. There's a little clue for some of y'all. Nobody's going to figure it out, but, there's a clue there. This is one of the things that, we need to do. We need to read the law, get to understand it, know it, and deal with it, because we are probably, I'm going to say probably, I'm conjecturing, slightly. I believe we're going to be living under that law. That's what it says in the Bible as far as I read it, okay? Read it. That's important. It's a very, very important chapter because it says some things. that you ain't supposed to be doing. And some of you are doing them. And it says some things. It doesn't say don't do some things that you think are wrong. So leave it at that. It says, you shall have your paddle on your weapon anytime you go out. I've dealt with this before, because you should have a shovel. Get a good shovel. Get a cold steel shovel or something like it that is a good, quick, ready to use, fast to bring into action weapon. I mean, shovel for digging a hole, because we're supposed to poop 3 times a day. That means you should dig a hole 3 times a day. If you're en route and you're going to take a dump, you'd be digging a hole 3 times a day. Okay. Yeah, granted, you're going to go to a gas station. Okay, fine. You're going to go to a truck stop. You're going to go to whatever. But let's say you're on foot. You better be prepared. Because don't come in to this region and be dumping stuff. I've told a story. I let a guy stay on my thing. I brought him a composting bucket. I told him how to use it. I had a bucket of mulch there. A week or 2 later, I said, how's it going with the toilet thing? And he goes, oh, I'm not using it. I went, you're not coming in the house. He was maybe shower or something. I don't remember all the details on that, but he wasn't. I think he did sponge baths. But anyway, he said, oh, I'm just putting it in a plastic bag and throwing it out in the woods. At least it wasn't on my property, but I was irate. I was furious. So don't do that. Deal with your shit biblically. And I'm telling you, your spiritual shit. A lot of you have baggage, you have crap, you have stuff that you give to credence to your ancestry or your whatever, whatever disease or your mental condition, your addiction to drugs or alcohol or whatever, well, it's just because I'm a, blah, 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 blah. Don't fly. I don't care. Neither is God. Get rid of it. Bury it where you're at. Leave it there and then come here. Don't bring it here. I'm telling you, don't bring it here. Okay? Selfishness, pride, arrogance, haughtiness, all the sins. Don't bring your alcoholism here. Don't bring your drug addiction here. Don't bring your whatever. Just don't do it. It's not going to be healthy. You need to, and I'm just saying, there's grace. You were invited to the wedding feast, but what happened? He sent out the invitations into the highways and byways, right? And then what? The people showed up. They came, and a lot of weird people here. I mean, a mailman told me, he says, there are weird people from all over the world here, from every corner of the earth, from every bizarre religious background you can imagine. They're here in the Ozark Plateau. They've been invited. They're here. Now, you need to put on the white robe. So you get here, but as best you can, don't bring your personal beliefs, your personal thinking, your personal moral code here, because it ain't going to work here. I'm just telling you. You're going to be disappointed. Seriously disappointed. I see it coming. Okay? Get rid of it. Leave it where it's at. Bury it there. Don't bring it here. And I'm just, I talked about this book the other night, and then I found out that, and I'm going to say this as, just as briefly and humanely as possible, whatever word I'm searching for there. But I found out that somebody that came here and brought their own moral excrement with them, and one of the biggest being selfishness. So they're doing everything themselves, and basically, long and story. And I feel if you see the video, my heart is, goes out to you. It really does. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Get up, move on, and you might rethink priorities and come around and approach life from a different perspective. If this is going to be a second time around, then let it be a second time around, and do it differently. Think about other people. I specifically asked for help. Hungry. I was hungry. He didn't give me any water. I was thirsty. He didn't give me a drink. Didn't have anywhere to lay my head, And I'm sorry. But we bring on our own heads, our own fate. Our words and our actions will determine our fate, and that's what I've been saying all along. So, and if that's not quite clear to everybody, it doesn't really need to be, but basically someone who very close is no longer with us. Very, very close. And I just, at least if they were where they came from, they might well both be not here on this existence. So look at it that way. If you hear this, where you're at is getting hammered. So that was a concern. That was a major concern. And you're here, and don't want to be callous or anything. Just grieve and get over it, and hopefully make some changes, accept help, be part of a community, give and take. Give. It's more blessed to give than to receive. I'm telling you that. All of us who are here, who have nothing, and who've been burned and screwed and shafted and stabbed in the back multiple times, been attempted to be killed multiple times. We're gonna have a good time. I don't have any. I'm not holding anything back. I'm not. Forgiveness is there. For everybody. The day before I did that one talk, I prayed that morning. I was like, wow, this is awesome. The slingshot effect. And this brother here, I started to apologize to him. I'll try not to laugh, but Stone Kingdom of Yahweh. And I said, I was in 12 tribes and gave him my house and everything. I'm like, And then I get out of that and I get married to this woman. I go, and then she took everything. But I said, out of the frying pan into the fire, huh? And he goes, yeah. I apologize, I apologize. I just started laughing. But for what, I've been through some, not what he has, but, every one of us has been through a lot of shit, is going to be able to empathize with other people who're going to have been through a lot more, let me tell you. And that's one thing I've tried to get across to these people. If you're feeling sorry for yourself, that was one of the saddest states of existence on this plane. In this plane of existence, if you're feeling sorry for yourself for anything, that's just sorry. I'm sorry, but that's just, I feel sorry for you. It's sad, it's sick, it's dumb, it's stupid, ignorant. Okay, it's ignorant. But no, it's not ignorant now. Now you're stupid if you do it, It's wrong. It's sin. If you're holding unforgiveness and bitterness and hatred and self-pity, and holding things against someone, if you don't forgive, neither will my Father in heaven forgive you. Pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Hatred, unforgiveness leads to cancer. Unforgiveness is deadly. Unforgiveness and bitterness is an acid that does far more damage to the vessel holding it to anything it's poured out on. If you're mad at me about something, you're pissed off at me for 10 years or 15 years, and I have had people do that. Did I know? No. I can laugh. It's not affecting me in any way or shape whatsoever. You're the only one that's chewing the hell out of, so get over it. So anyway, my title is Leave Your Shit There, don't bring your shit here, but that's the message. So this is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant. Get here.